everybody, hello and welcome. As always, I am Sean, this is In The Mix, and we're already up to episode 4 of our Isle of Man series. This week is flying by, as is our first season. Now, I have kind of made a slight mistake where I jumped into the game a little bit too early, but I got straight back out of it, so you guys haven't missed too much of anything. 32 games played, we are getting towards the business end of the season. Of course, things are still going fantastically well for us, so let's jump straight into the games. And as you can see at the top here, FC Isle of Man, Season 1, first competition entered, first competition won. We've been declared champions. It was in our last game, unfortunately off screen. Against AFC Blackpool, a good 4-0 win was more than enough for us to get through. Nelson dropped points on the day, which mean they could no longer mathematically catch us. We are still going to bring the games against Daisy Hill and Nelson today to try and beat the team in second. We did draw against them early in the season. It'd be good to get that win back and say that we beat everybody in the division during the season. Since that last episode, of course, where we beat both Pilkington and AFC Liverpool, we beat Prestige 7-2, back up 3-0 after a 3-3 draw against them earlier in the season, Shelley Community 4-0, and of course Blackpool 4-0 as well. So some good performances, but we are starting to see more and more teams in the higher divisions start to come in for our players. So we've lost quite a few. But the main ones that you look at are the guys that you see here that were playing first team football at the time. So Nathan Baxter went to Holland, Neil Patience went to Dundonald B in Scotland, Teddy Bloor left for a high division side, Sam Joyce left for a high division side, Charlie Higgs also left for a high division side. Now a few of them went in and out of the team. Nathan Baxter and Charlie Higgs are probably the two that played the most. The others were effectively backups, but still really good players, still players that we would have liked to have held on to. And it has meant that we've tried to continue to add new faces throughout the course of the year, just to build out our squad a little bit. We've got a bit of a hole at the moment at right back, so we're hoping that Diallo can get through the remaining games of the season without picking up any injuries or suspensions. And we're just basically keeping an eye on any free agent that happens to be under the age of 19 so that we can bring them in if we need to and build out our depth in our squad that way. So we're going to jump back into the game. We've just done our team talk to tell everybody that we wanted to pick up where we were left off last time out. Daisy Hill are a middle of the table side. We should be doing enough to beat them. Early highlight here, Diallo takes a throw in on the right hand side. Comes back inside to Azzy Connor. Looks for a long ball out wide. Ball should find it pretty easily. Deep cross towards Masamba back post, and that is an excellent finish from Debert Masamba, his 9th goal of the season, and a wonderful assist from Charlie Ball, making his return from injury. He's only played, I think, maybe like one of the last 10 games. We've had McClellan and a couple other players filling in for him, but an excellent ball across. And Masamba on his weaker left foot, good half volley home to give us a 1-goal lead. Highlight here for Daisy Hill. It's deep cross. Diallo should sort it out. Hall with a good touch. Out now wide to Ure. Looks for ball in the channel. Plays back now to Diallo at right wing back. Feeds him into space. Can he find the right cut back here? Looks for Thompson in the middle. It's an excellent combination between the two forwards. Joe Thompson gets his 34th goal of the season. He has been an absolute revelation this series. As we look at it in 3D here, it's just a good return pass from Diallo. Puts it into space and behind the fullback. No one tracks the run of ball and he can just hang it up towards the 6-yard box. Thompson, the fox in the box, as he so often has been, it just pokes that one home. And we go 2-0 up inside the opening 10 minutes of the match. Throw in here, Brown to take. Back to Irwin. Long ball forward, should be tidied up by Cook. Ball forward again, Thompson's in the area. Can he return the favour? Masamba hangs one back stick. Gets headed away, but only as far as Ure, who skips around and turns his man very well. Cuts it back for ball. Second time of asking it, scrambled away. It's going to come out to Raymond. Is there anything further in the highlight? Applin now from a deep area, looks to swing it back stick. Ure's out far wide, all right. Irwin coughs the ball up in the box. Falls to Ure again, and then Feeney eventually gets the ball away before the highlight comes to an end. It's immediately continuing here. Diallo with the ball at right back. Skips past one challenge, looks for a long ball forward. Feeney can only head it as far as Ure, who then skips past him. Can he find the right ball back in across the box? Masamba's back stick, but it's straight at Aristidu in the Daisy Hill goal. Ball in behind for Daisy Hill. Baines has gotten goal side and found the finish in the 18th minute. So they've brought one back. Very simple, just a headed ball back into midfield. The midfielder got goal side. You see this one here with Baines. Cook with a good header. No one gets across to Garstang quick enough. He pokes one over the shoulder. And maybe the keeper could have come out a little bit quicker. His angles weren't the best either. Baines puts it back across him and they do bring 1 goal back. So they might be looking to make us work for it. I don't think we've kept many clean sheets in episodes that we've brought to you guys this week. Highlight now, crossfield switch out towards Ure, who should go around his man pretty easily. Can cut it back towards Thompson back stick and he finds the finish. His 35th goal of the season. An insane conversion rate from Joe Thompson. And as we look at it in 3 dimensions here, it's Thompson who plays the ball out to Ure initially and he just turns his man with ease and then it just hangs it back up towards far post. Thompson with the left-footed volley. Keeper can't do anything about it, and we restore a 2-goal margin. Harris did it with the long ball forward. It's recovered well by Hall. Played in behind for Thompson, who's on here early. Squares it up for Ball. Easiest of tap-ins. 27th goal of the season for Charlie Bell. That is an absolutely fantastic weighted pass from Thompson as well. Very unselfish after getting himself through on goal. Squares it up, and it's the simplest of finishes. One of those proper like FIFA dog goals that you would have seen from back in the day. Excellent, excellent play though. I'll take those every day of the week. Ball now out left with Thompson. Works his way towards the box. It's recovered by Daisy Hill. But Applin with a good tackle in a deep area towards Ball. Falls to Ure, and he smashes that one home for his 19th goal of the season. Another of the star performers this year. He's had a whole bunch of different contract offers come in from teams in higher divisions. He keeps hanging around, which I'm grateful for. I'm not entirely sure why, because some of them would have to be cash deals. But that's an excellent finish from him. Little scissor kick from the penalty spot. Smacks that one past the goalkeeper. Ball in behind here. Ball's in the area. Does very well to come across and beat a few men to get to the ball. It's got men on here. Deep cross towards back stick. Atherton heads it away, but only as far as Ure. Squares it up for Hall from the top of the box. And his 7th goal of the season. Again, Milo Hall, a similar player. He's had, I think, offers from like Blythe Spartans and teams in the Vanarama National, and he still managed to hang around with us for whatever reason, and that is an excellent strike. Ure does very well to bring it down, find him at the top of the box, then on his left foot, smacks that one into the top corner, and we are flying in the first half here against Daisy Hill. Diallo with a throw into Ure. Ure looks for the ball into the channel for Ball. Can cut it back. Thompson is in the area if he can find him. Instead, they've given away a penalty, and it's going to be Thompson to take for his chance at the hat-trick. Sends it low and hard to the right-hand side, and we're 7-1 up in the first half. We are on track to hit double figures for the second time this season if we can continue scoring at this rate. It's a good penalty, low and hard to the keeper. Keeper did guess the right way, but didn't have enough about him to get across to it. And Thompson with a hat-trick inside 40 minutes. Brown now with a ball in behind for Baines. It's another highlight for Daisy Hill. It's not a bad effort. Biddle doesn't hold it, and Nazi Okonu does very well to get across and poke it out for a throw. Baines back to Wilson Neville, who took the throw. Hall with the header away. Only as far as Feeney to Thomas at the top of the box. Out to Garstang on the left. Diallo does very well to recover the ball in a good position. Ball now turns his man on halfway. Space open up for him on the right-hand side. Can he find the right ball back into the box? Gets shut down by the defender. Diallo will follow up. Brown with the header back across goal. Falls the ball, and his 28th goal of the season makes it 8-1 inside a half of football. We are tearing teams apart in transition at the moment. And I guess that's what this tactic's designed to do. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, and it probably wouldn't work that well in a real-life football scenario, but that 4-2-4 means that we've always got people in half spaces, those two wide players in half spaces once we recover possession, and we've also got the ball over the top to the forwards if we need to find it. So it's not the most beautiful football, it's not tiki-taka or anything like that, but it's super effective. 8-1 up at half-time, 20 shots, 13 on target, 52% possession, 4 shots, 2 on target, 48% for Daisy Hill. Got nothing to complain about, so let's just passionately tell everybody, very happy with the way things are going, boys. Keep it up, and let's see how much we can tick over the scoreboard on this one. Throw in here for Daisy Hill into Baines, who has looked dangerous when he has picked the ball up. Cross wasn't to anyone in particular. We have recovered through Hall. Ball forward to Masamba, who can switch it out left. Ball makes a great over-the-shoulder run. Can slow up here. Instead, he strikes from that wide area. It looked like it was going to chip the keeper for a moment, but it comes back off the crossbar. Right, 63 minutes gone. We're going to make our 3 subs just based on form and fitness. Elliot Richards will come on for Azzy Okonu. Richards is a player from Everton as a junior that we've been lucky enough to bring across. He'll jump in at right back. Greenwood will come in at centre back for Diallo, and Willits will come in for Milo Hall in the centre of the park. Just some fresh legs there. We're also going to use our Get Creative shout. It'd be a shame if we got to 8 so early in the game and then couldn't find our way to 10, but the clock is flying by. Baines gets in behind, and he's found a second one. Very rudimentary football again. It's a header back from, I think it was Applin, out on the left back spot. Back into midfield, it falls to Vernon, and then Owen just with a deep ball in behind the defence. Baines times his run well, and to be fair to him, it's a good finish. Gets it on his left foot. Maybe the keeper could have done better on that one, but he gets his second goal of the game, and they do bring it back to a 6-goal margin. 2 minutes to be added on here. We have switched off a little bit in the second half, and the game ends 8-2. So disappointing we couldn't get all the way to 10 goals, but I'm not going to complain about an 8-2 win. 30 shots, 16 on target, 52% possession. They had 9, 4, and 48%. Let's passionately tell everyone, I'm very happy with the effort and the way that you played. No need to get down on anybody after scoring 8 goals. Humiliation for Daisy Hill in an 8-2 defeat. Joe Thompson, of course, gets the Man of the Match award with 3 goals to his name. We'll tell him how excellent he was, just so that we can keep that morale as high as possible for our star players. Matt Jansen from Bromsgrove Sporting, who I think is 1 division above us, was there looking at a few of our players. We are getting more and more bids coming in for different players at different times. Ben Mills, Connor Russo, Bobby Biddle all have bids in them from high division clubs. That's been pretty much the story in the second half of the season. Hopefully, they'll want to stay and see out the year, and then we'll have a look at how we're going to replace certain people in the transfer market and that sort of thing. Magic of editing, though, we're going to jump forward to the game against I nearly said newly promoted, but they're not. Runners up Nelson. They're still 5 points ahead of AFC Emily in third spot, so they should have enough to guarantee themselves a promotion place as well. But we are going to absolutely belt the living piss out of them in the next game. All right, and just like that, we are a few days ahead. I think it was 6 days or something like that. But a massive, massive clash against Nelson. Effectively, we've already won the title. They're still chasing promotion. It would be good to go through and beat every team in the division. And if we can get a good result here, we can tick that off the list. We've got one real player, Connor Smith, 2.5 star. Or I shouldn't say one real player. They've got one player from the face pack, which I always kind of gravitate towards. 2.5 star current ability, 4.5 star potential. Looks a decent ex-Nottingham Forest junior. Rowe, I think, is an actual player as well. 21-year-old Irish youth international? No youth. And Barnsley was his previous club before he made the move up to Nelson. We're going to have to be at our best to beat him, so we're going to say passionately, I expect nothing but a win, and at least Kieran Alpin, the left back, has responded positively to that. It will be good to kind of close the chapter on this season with a good victory against these guys after that 1-1 draw early in the year. We have beaten every side. The teams that beat us, we beat before. St. Helens, obviously, were the team that beat us. We beat them in the first game of the season. Team we drew with, backup Borough, we beat them convincingly as well. So this is really the last team that we have to kind of tick off our list in terms of 3 points for the season. Alpin with a throw in here, finds Masamba. Back to Alpin again, or Applin. I get his name wrong every time. Good header from ball in the end, but Little gets behind the ball and holds. Long ball forward towards Rowe. Azikona with a good header. Raymond brings it down. Back to Cook. Long ball forward. Wasn't particularly well directed. Ball back with Swinburne now. Out wide to Ellis. Back to Swinburne. Looks for the ball in behind to Rowe. This might be the danger here. He's gotten goal side. It's a good save from Biddle, who forces it out for a corner. Lamb to take the resulting corner. Front stick ball headed well away. Masamba should recover. There's a counter attack on here if we move the ball quickly. And if the highlight comes to an end. Deep throw in here for Applin. All the way back to him again. Looks for Hall in midfield. Dangerous ball, but we got away with it. Switches it out to Ure. Skips past one challenge. Bursts his way into the box. Can he find the cutback? Good tackle from Melling. Ure stays on his feet. Turns around. Swings one in on his left peg. And it was a good little tee up there from Masamba on the far side. But Thompson couldn't find the finish. And Little in the Nelson goal holds. Right, half-time, 0-0. We have had more of it. 13 shots, 9 on target, 47% of the ball. They've had 2-2 and 53%. We're going to aggressively say maybe. I'm far from pleased. Everyone's responded as fired up, which is good. That's kind of what we need. As we always do, we'll give it 15 minutes and then have a look at how our subs are doing, yellow cards, fitness, all that sort of stuff. Masamba just nearly poked one home there. This highlight started out of nowhere. But we should have a resulting corner here. It's going to be Ure to take. To take. Azikona with a good header. It pinballs around a little bit and somehow it makes its way out for another corner. Masamba to take this time. Deep one across towards ball. Good header from ball from the set piece. His 29th goal of the season. And we go a goal up in the 54th minute. We'll check this one out in 3 dimensions. It looked like he was just the highest salmon to rise out of the river amongst a few defenders there. Yeah, there's 3 around him, but he gets his head to the ball first. Keeper did get a little bit on it, but too much on it to actually keep it out of the back of the net. Right, now Gons are going to make subs. We'll make all 3. We're just going to go Applin, Thompson, and Raymond have all struggled a little bit, so we're going to bring on McLennan up top, Jaden Thorne at left back, and Jake Willits as the deep lying playmaker. We're going to passionately tell them we have faith in them, and hopefully we can get a second goal here just to ease nerves a little bit and kind of close the door on a Nelson comeback. Biddle with a long ball forward. Masamba is on halfway, flicks it on towards ball. Willits now plays it out left to the other substitute, Thorne. Can release Masamba. Instead, he steps inside. Plays a ball to ball at the top of the box. Gets his strike away. McClellan's in the area. I think he might have been offside though, even if he had it tapped at home. He is indeed, and the referee calls it back for the offside. Right, 10 minutes remaining. We're going to use our demand more shout. Hopefully, focus everybody to get through the last 10 minutes or so. Rowe with the ball here. Masamba's won it back in midfield though. Rowe with a good tackle. Azukonu looks out right towards Ure. Davis with a challenge on him. It looks like he's going to pick up a second yellow card. So they're going to go down to 10 men for the last few minutes. I would still like to try and get another goal. That would be the thing that would put my mind mostly at ease. Cook with a flick on header. Masamba on the left. Looks to play McClellan in. The fresh sub His touch takes him away from goal. He does manage to go around the outside, then shoot from the wide angle. Probably could have slowed down there and looked for a better pass inside. 4 minutes to be added on now. We've got a corner here, Masamba to take. Cook's in the area and he pokes that one home for his, I think, second goal of the season. And given that we only picked him up in January, that's a pretty good turnaround from the centre-back. It's a good ball from Masamba. Ignores the short option, which is what we're supposed to be doing from these corners. And Cook with a powerful header down into the bottom corner. Keeper couldn't do much about that one. And hopefully that should be enough to see us through in this match. And there we go, 2-0 in the end. 2 second half goals to Charlie Ball and James Cook. The first game had so many highlights in it. The second one didn't have as many, but still just as important a result. 28 shots, 17 on target, 50% of the ball. They had 7, 4 and 50%. And of course, finished with 10 men as well. Passionately, let's say, very not happy with the result and the way that you guys played. That does see us move to 95 points for the season. We may still crack 100 yet. They remain on 69. Emily draws a win against AFC Darwin to pull them back to 67 points. So a 2-point gap there. We'll see if Nelson continue to crumble in the second half of the season. Quality possession provides victory. Masamba got the man of the match award with 2 assists in that one. We're going to tell him, superb in the number and quality of chances that he's created. But really, we've got pretty much everything that we wanted to now. We've beaten every side in the division, which is all you could really ask for. We're going up as champions, which is fantastic. I think the last thing we'll do is come back, we'll play the last game of the season against AFC Emily. They may still potentially finish second, so that could be a massive contest for us. We did beat them 7-0 earlier in the season, so they've managed to turn around their season pretty well. And then what we might also do is a bit of a season review. There's players here that we will be looking to get rid of. Essentially anyone that no longer has 5-star potential ability, we wouldn't really look to keep them around any longer. A lot of these 20-year-olds that are going to turn 21, they're never going to realise that full potential. So we might look to try and refresh as more players get released from academy structures across the northwest of England. But that's all stuff that we'll look at in the next episode. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's the part that means the most to me. I hope you are enjoying the content so far. Feel free to throw a like on the video if you are enjoying it. If you've got any feedback, if it's positive or negative stuff that you want to see done differently, stuff that you'd like to see from the channel, put it in the comment section below. I do try and respond to every single comment that I get. You can subscribe to the channel over here. I pointed in the right direction this time. If you want to be kept up to date on future videos as they're released. You can also follow us on Twitter at @InTheMixer_FM to see all our interactions with the Football Manager community. But as always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the Mixer.